One. You know what it is? Black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy. You know who it is? Black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy. Odochi, Maurice, Odochi, Maurice.
Maurice, sturdy, Maurice, sturdy.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy. It's the Black and Sturdy Podcast with Odochi and Maurice.
Hello, 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 hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well.
Project.
How are you?
Yes. How is everybody who is watching this, whenever you're watching this, if you're watching this live, if you're watching this after the live, congratulations and welcome to another episode of the Black and Sturdy Podcast. It has been too long.
It's been too long since we've been gone. Something, something, something. I missed you. Welcome home.
Welcome back is my thing. I will sing welcome back. Anyhow, welcome back to another installment of the Black and Sturdy Podcast, the only podcast where you can hear two black sexy nerds dishing about this, that, and the other thing. I, of course, am Maurice.
And I am Modi.
Oh my
Wow.
God! Alexa!
Please.
Stop!
Have some couth. Jesus.
Alexa! Stop!
Alexa is a sassy bitch.
Yes, Alexa.
She says, I'm here.
Oh my God,
I'm
we gotta stop saying her name.
We can't say anything that's close to her name. But what did we say before that made her start talking?
The device. I don't know what we said before. All I know is that this thing listens in to everything that I'm saying and doing. It hears me when I'm sleeping. It knows when I'm
awake.
Well, I was going to say something dirty.
Knows if you've been better, good, so
It'll be good for goodness sake. I'm starting to see Christmas commercials.
Yeah, because there's no such thing as Thanksgiving.
Well,
literally Halloween, Christmas.
Yeah, but normally it would go like this. You would get the Halloween stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
And then Christmas stuff starts rolling around during the Thanksgiving season, you know?
That's what I preferred.
Yeah, I used to prefer that too.
Let Halloween be Halloween.
Yes, or Hallows Eve.
We don't have to worry about Thanksgiving because honestly, who cares about when some colonizers came and gave First Nations people smallpox and murdered them for their land and their food and all of the resources that they had.
Yeah.
It's really just we have a day off to be with our families and sleep and eat. So we don't really care about Thanksgiving. But there should just be a delineation between holiday times.
Yeah.
It's Halloween. We do all the spooky fun stuff. And then we go into the sleigh bells ringing.
Now, for the record, I look at not Halloween. I look at Thanksgiving the same way I look at 4th of July. I'm not celebrating the actual reason for the season. It's more so become just a holiday where I spend time with my family. I eat. I have uncomfortable conversations. When am I getting married? When am I going to have kids?
Yeah.
When am I gonna get a lace front? Just very uncomfortable conversations.
I think you should get one.
Why?
Because I think you would look good with one.
Yeah, I know I would look good with hair. You know how I knew that? Because when I had hair, I looked good.
I think you look good without hair as well.
Well,
but I think
thank you.
It'd be fun to switch it up.
I wasn't fishing.
I
for
know
a
you
compliment.
weren't fishing. I'm just saying you look good with both.
Well, thank
but you can switch it up. I switch it up all the time. This is not my hair. Well, I bought it, so it's mine.
Yeah.
But clearly, I don't have purple and green.
Would you actually, if it was your actual hair coming out of your skull, would you get it purple and green? Would you dye your own hair? I asked because,
know.
and I don't necessarily know if it's the same with black hair as it is with white hair, but I know a bunch of white women who would dye their hair in their teens and 20s are now complaining that it's been damaged and all this other stuff.
That's the thing. I think if this was my natural hair, even though I do you've seen me dye my natural hair plenty of times. I don't know if I would do that with the same amount of consistency because it costs a lot of money.
Yes, it does.
To dye. Like, I do a little backs. I could buy a little, whatever the shave moisture or whatever, black brands. I buy the little blonde. I use it. But that's really not the best way to color your hair. You should be going to a stylist, and then for them to do it to ensure that your hair is not going to break off. So if I were to have hair this long, it would be like $500 to $1,000 for me. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm not gonna cheap on, even with my braids. Like, my braids are not crazy expensive. Yeah. But I could probably go to somebody on Flatbush. They would charge me maybe like $50 less. But then I would also be in a salon where, there's roaches. So. Okay. All right. I'm not lying. I literally saw one when I walked into the salon. And it's just, they're too small and packed up. Fair. My salon, Mama's, is nice. It's clean. It's big. They have water and juice for me. Shout out to Mama. Shout out to Mama. She's always doing my hair really nice. And I feel like there's just, sometimes you get what you pay for. So if I was doing that, it would just be too much. Because I already spend a lot on my hair every, 2-3 months. So I think that I would just probably either just wear a wig or do what I do now, which is just like buy hair and put it in my head. Okay. Well, that has been our hair segment. Sponsored by Is That Your Hair? Don't touch my hair. Is that your hair? I'm sure is that your hair with either 2 or 3 R's. I think it might be 2. I think it's 2. But yeah, shout out to Gladys. Shout out to you, Gladys. We love you. I'm sure you're having a wig sale. That's not a bit. That's what you do. She probably is. Yeah, that's what she does. Go to her page. Let her know that Maurice and Odie said hello. Find her wigs. Find her Amazon shop. Buy all the things on there. She always looks super cute in her outfit. Use promo code Snurdy. Yes. We need to talk to Gladys about it. Yeah, we should talk to Gladys about getting a promo code. All right. Promo code Snurdy. And also ask her if she can give me a discount on some wigs, okay? Because you do look really good in wigs. I do look good in some wigs. You look so cute in wigs. For somebody who is very against getting a male lace front and beiging and all that shit, I do like wearing other people's wigs. You do. They're fun. They're fun. They are. I mean, it's dress up. Yes. Who doesn't love that? Yes. So, now that we have had a little bit of banter, let's get into these questions. Which questions? Which one do you want to do? Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Make a wish. All right, pick one. All right, here we go. Which song makes you dance no matter what? Which Beyonce Renaissance song makes you dance no matter what? It's gonna be Cuff It, isn't it? First of all, I'm falling in love. There's no way to not dance to any Beyonce song, but I will say, that's not true. What about Me, Myself, and I? Who's dancing to that? Yeah, I will. Okay, do you want to hear a hot take? Uh-oh. What is this hot take? Me, Myself, and I is one of my least favorite Beyonce songs. Why? I don't know if it's it's not that it's like a ballad. It's just, I don't know. It's like it's a good song. Yes. But all of Beyonce's songs are good songs. Mm-hmm. I never really loved it. Beautiful video. I love the video. Mm-hmm. The song, it's like, okay, I could listen to other ones. Okay, but a song that's gonna make me dance no matter what. Mm-hmm. Okay, the first one that's coming to my head is a Beyonce song, and it is from Renaissance, because obviously that's the top of my mind. I'm That Girl by Beyonce. Okay. All right, that's fair. What about you? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Eye to Eye by Tevin Campbell. Yes. We were just watching the episode of Atlanta where they were talking about the Goofy movie. If I'm ever too far apart, and maybe love is the reason why. For the first time ever seeing it eye to eye. Okay. Yes, that will always make me dance. I mean, that's music make you lose control. Music make you lose control. Okay, all right. We're being a little bit too silly. I haven't even started drinking what's in my red Solo cup. Red Solo cup, I fill you up and have a party. You don't remember that song?
What nursery rhyme is
That
this?
song came out when we were in college.
Okay, who sang it? Asher Roth?
I have no clue, but it was Red Solo Cup.
No, I don't know the song.
I fill you up and have a party.
It sounds sad. Okay, so
Okay, so my question is, which holiday do you enjoy the most?
Christmas, hands down. I grew up with loving Christmas, and as an adult, I moved away from Christmas being about the gifts to being about food and family. So, like, every year, like, I go back home, and I thoroughly enjoy spending time with my family. Mm-hmm. I thoroughly enjoy the food that they make. Mm-hmm. I've been not the most flush with money in the past. Mm-hmm, so therefore, it's not like I could, Toby Keith, that's who sings this bullshit.
Who sings a song.
No wonder I didn't know the song.
But it came out when we were in college, June 2011.
Gross. What does Toby Keith know about a Red Solo Cup?
That is the quintessential country boy cup.
How much you want to bet that
every college
there's a line about his truck in the fucking song?
I'm sure there is.
Anyhow, God damn it, country people love their trucks.
It's America.
Yeah, America. What about you? What's your favorite holiday?
It's good. Well,
it's It's gonna be Flag Day because it's your birthday, and birthday is the national flag day.
First of all, the question was asked to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
okay. Mm-hmm. Now that's number one.
Yeah. Oh, that's number one. There's more.
Number two is yes, it's my motherfucking birthday. Okay. Because Flag Day,
holidays. Your birthday's not a holiday.
My birthday is 100% a holiday.
It's only a holiday because you were born on a holiday.
My birthday is a holiday,
but it's a second tier holiday. Like National Flag Day is like Secretary's
My birthday
Day,
is a holiday. Just because your birthday's no holiday, there's no day on your day.
First off,
don't come for me.
Hello, my day was the day that The Simpsons were premiered on not Nancy Cartwright, Tracy Ullman show.
Okay.
So I was born the same day as The Simpsons. And if you track the trajectory, we have had roughly the same career. Our golden ages peaked around season 10 or 11, and we've just been sort of a zombified mess ever since.
Well, if I can't choose my birthday, which is an actual holiday, look it up. June 14th, it is a holiday, thank you. Then I'm going to choose Christmas.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Christmas is a good holiday.
I mean, it's because, like, okay, this is the thing. Halloween, you get candy. Yes. Fun. You get candy and you get to dress up. Yes. Thanksgiving, you get food and a day off. Yes. But Christmas, you get food, you get family, and you get presents.
Yes.
So,
do you get presents now that you're an adult?
Hell the fuck yeah.
Okay, you do?
Yes.
Who's giving you presents?
My family gives me presents. My friends give me presents.
What kind of presents do you get?
I mean, no, usually I get actual presents. My mom generally will give like socks and underwear. Generally, for the longest time, once I got to maybe tween years, my stocking went from being candy to being like nail polish and then like socks and underwear.
Do you know how annoyed I would be if, as somebody who works for a sock and underwear company, somebody gave me some socks and underwear?
Well, yeah.
I'd be like, so you basically gave me the thing that I could just get for free.
Well, let's scratch that off my list.
Anywhere and anytime. You know what? That's actually what I'm gonna do this year. I'm gonna get a bunch of socks and a bunch of underwear for Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna start not underwear. I'm gonna get a bunch of socks. And I'm gonna hand them out. Like they're gonna be the stockings. Like I'm gonna throw them at people at Thanksgiving. And
a little
yes, I'm gonna get one of those t-shirt bazookas and just like funk it around the room. That's exactly what
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, and you're gonna get beamed in the face.
No, I'm gonna dodge.
No. First off, your reaction time is not the fastest.
I can react quickly.
Can you?
Yes, I was a cheerleader.
What? Oh, cheerleaders, they're known for their reaction.
Yeah, because if you got somebody up here and they're falling, you gotta know when to catch them.
And you were at the...
I was a base.
You were...
What stupid thing were you gonna say? What stupid thing were you going to say?
Nothing,
Were you going to make a joke about me being a bottom?
No. Yeah, actually.
I knew you were going to. I knew that's what you were going to say, so I don't even know why you tried to hide it.
Well, anyhow.
Are you ready to go into our...
Well, we should probably get this out the way. In the time that we have been gone, unfortunately, we have had some. You want to say tragedies?
Yeah, they've been tragedies.
Yeah, so we've had some tragedies. So
some people who have been gone too soon that we just want to remember and honor their legacies and the love that we had for them. And
before we get to the fun, I think it's time for us to pay our respects.
Yeah. It's...
That's going to be too loud. Yeah.
It's never easy when...
And there's fucking ants on my mixer. But, sorry. I know this is supposed to be a solemn moment, but, I'm so driven crazy by all these ants.
They're just trolling you.
Yes,
okay?
they are. But this is neither the time nor the place to talk about ants. We're talking about ancestors. Yes. I've now passed on to the great beyond.
So, the first one, which, I mean, I can't even express the amount of sadness that I have right now, but Robbie Coltrane, better known as one of his most iconic roles, was Hagrid, the finest gamekeeper that Hogwarts has ever known. He passed away about 2 weeks ago, it was about 2 weeks ago. And he had been sick for a while. I remember we watched the Harry Potter reunion.
Yes, we did.
And he was on there. And one thing that he said that honestly, like, watching it made me tear up, but thinking about it now has been even more devastating. And he was saying that the best thing about Harry Potter is that in 50 years, that it'll still be around. And I won't, but I know that, like, my children's children will be able to see and experience Harry Potter and experience him through that way. And I feel like that was just such a beautiful sentiment. And he just added so much to our lives. I feel like I've never heard anything problematic or terrible about him. He was just a pure and wonderful soul. And he will definitely be missed.
Which I think is a highlight. Like it's rare to make it out as a person of a certain age who grew up in a certain generation, to make it out like just to be like pure of heart and stuff.
Yeah,
I think only like you're reaching like Mr. Rogers territory.
Yeah,
when you do that.
I mean he was 72 years old, which is like. It's older, but it's still like he still had so much more time on here to do different things. And just like every single person that has worked with him or has interacted with him in the Hollywood has talked about how he was just a lovely man, so sweet and giving and just warm and just kind of like really like hot. He was Hagrid both in and out of character, which really that definitely warmed my heart, because we know how unfortunately the Harry Potter universe has had some people who were problematic that we won't talk about, but just grateful that we had him for as long as we did, and sending love to all of his family and everyone that knew him. Someone else who passed away was Angela Lansbury.
Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote. And I used to watch that with my Nana every week whenever it was coming on. We would always watch it together, and it was just so fun. And honestly, one thing that I feel like is really special when older, she was 96 years old. So she had a long career. In Hollywood. And there were so many stories coming out about her after she passed. And one story that I absolutely loved was that apparently Friends came out debuted several years after Murder, She Wrote.
Yes, it
and
did.
Apparently the network executives moved Friends to the slot, either the time slot that was the same as Murder, She Wrote, or they moved it to that time slot and pushed Murder, She Wrote. And so one episode, they did like a Friends-esque episode on Murder, She Wrote. And then she was like, who would have thought that watching 7 single kids who don't do anything would be fun, like in the episode. So I was like, look at this shade queen.
Yeah.
Just like, you're not gonna stamp all over my show and get away with it. And just she got her daughter out of a cult. She was just partying it with she was out there, she was outside, she was having fun, she was enjoying her life. And now, she as she got older, sometimes she did have things to say that were outside of what the general populace would have liked her to agree on. But I think that overall, she was a generally unproblematic person.
Yes.
Who people... now, I'm forgetting the name of the actor, but he was talking about how at a certain point, every time she would see him at a Hollywood event, he would be drunk. And she came to him and said that to him, and he had never met her. But that helped him get sober, because he was like, wow, if Angela Lansbury is feeling like this, maybe I need to relook at things. It's just someone who was speaking to him with love, and not like I'm hating on you or shame on you. But
no judgment.
I care about you. I feel like there's something going on. Are you okay? And that's not something we generally hear about a lot of actors or actresses, just because of how cutthroat the business is. So, 96 years it's a long time, but with your family, it's never enough.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
so, I mean, not yes, it is. Yes, I agree.
Shout out to her, and thank you so much for bringing all of us children and grandchildren together with our grandparents to solve some murder mysteries and have, a good time.
Yes.
And now this one is honestly, this was a shocker to me, and I definitely don't think I will be over this one anytime soon. Leslie Jordan died at 67 years old last week. He was in a car crash, which I think, Angela Lansbury and Robbie Coltrane died of, she died of natural causes. He died from the after effects of his illnesses, the multiple illnesses he's had for over the several years. But Leslie Jordan dying in a car crash, I feel like that really hit me hard, because it was like, wow, it was just like his life was just snuffed out.
Yeah, didn't somebody else just die in a car crash not too long ago?
Oh.
Was it Anne Heche?
Yes, Anne Heche.
Yeah.
And to think that, I've always known Leslie Jordan. He was on Will and Grace.
Yes.
Loved his character on Will and Grace. Yes. But then, for a while, we hadn't really seen him doing much. Maybe he would be here and there. I know he was in, Call Me Kat and some other shows. But I think the pandemic really,
he got us through the pandemic.
He got us through the pandemic.
He was that lovely old man who was just what y'all doing?
That just brought me so much joy every time I heard it. And I just, the unfairness of Hollywood is that he was not getting roles, regardless of how talented he was, because he was a gay man.
Yes.
And so for all these years, he would get little minor parts and, maybe do some voiceovers and things like that. But he wasn't getting the star-studded roles that he deserved. And now we finally started seeing him, getting his accolades, getting his flowers.
Getting his praise.
Exactly. And then for him to be gone like this, it just really was this is too bad, because he really, if anybody deserved to be, getting where they needed to go, it was him.
Yes. Agreed.
A beautiful soul. He's going to be missed so much. And we send again a love to all his family. I believe his mother was older and he was living with her. I believe she might still be alive. And so it must be really difficult to live such a long life and then have to bury your child.
Have to bury your child.
I don't think any parent should
to
have to do
outlive
that.
your child is a tragedy.
And so I wish that I could go to his funeral and say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the love that you gave us and the joy and the smiles.
Yes, agreed.
And last but definitely not least, we are sending our love to Kevin Nash because his son, who's 26 years old, Tristan, died after having a seizure, which caused him to have a heart attack. He was only 26, which, I mean, like no one's thinking at 26 that you're going to pass.
Yeah.
So that was
let
just
alone from like a seizure.
Yeah.
Like it's really heartbreaking. For those of y'all who don't know, Kevin Nash is a legendary wrestler. He was part of the NWO. He was Diesel in WWE. He part of the NWO Wolfpack, as you call it. He's part of the Clique, if you're familiar with that parlance. But yeah, hearing that his son passed away was definitely tragic, and at such a young age too.
Yeah.
At such a young age. It's one of those things where like you get together with your friends and family and you just like send a heartfelt like condolence to Kevin Hart and his family and friends and his circle. No, Kevin Nash. My apologies. Sorry. It's just a tragedy, and we are sending our condolences out to Kevin Nash.
And I think that this is another reminder that regardless of how old you are, whether you're 15, 35, 45 and older, please look into getting life insurance. Take out a policy on yourself, get a will, because you literally never know what's going to happen. And my sister works in insurance, and she talks all about how these things happen way more than we know.
Yeah.
That you're in the prime of your life, and you're not even thinking about getting any of these different insurances and policies, and then something happens, and then unfortunately now your family has to, GoFundMe. So please look into those things. I'm looking into them to get them set up. If you don't have, getting insurance through your job is okay, but it's much better to get your own policy. Just protect yourself, protect your family, because we never know the time or the place. So
Yeah, agreed.
I think that was all.
Yeah.
And we are ready to jump into the show.
Sorry. I always love that song. So
It's a beautiful
whenever
song. It's a beautiful song.
whenever it comes on, it moves me.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
It is so hard to
Yesterday.
say goodbye. For those of you who are watching live, you should listen to the podcast. We have a nice respectful playing of Hard to Say Goodbye by Boyz II Men underlaying this portion of our podcast, and it's a very moving song.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I will respectfully transition over to our pop culture segment.
Pop culture, pop culture, pop. So there's a lot of shenanigans.
There's a lot of bullshit going on.
There's a lot of bullshit. Now, okay. Do you want to talk about the biggest bullshit at the top?
No, let's save that for the end.
Wait. Okay.
Because we literally don't know if we'll have time for it.
That's true. We're gonna talk fast.
Let's get the little stuff out of the way first.
Okay. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen have joined Tia and Corey Hardick, and that other couple that divorced with now cutting ties.
Yes. Should I also play It's So Hard to Say Goodbye?
No.
Because it seems very easy for Sir Brady.
Gisele filed for divorce after 13 years.
13 years. Ooh, that's a whole ass child.
That's a whole thing. Like, that's a lot of time to be with one person. I don't know if after 13 years, like, what is it that could happen for me to be like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I feel like we should just write it out.
At 13?
I feel like 13 is a long time. And you're gonna maybe go, okay, you have the 7 years.
Because I've been in New York for 10. Like even still, like I feel like at any given moment I could just be like, you know what? Maybe I should go back to Baltimore.
But I wonder, like,
So I don't know 13 is
after
like
13 years, 'cause
any
it's like
different.
the 7-year itch when you might get, like, you know, have those growing pains. And then after that, then it's like you're going through life together, you're having children, you're you know, building a home together.
You're amassing an empire and a brand.
Yeah. So I'm curious as like what happens to couples when they're at that moment where they're just like, I'm done. Was it because he didn't want to retire to come home and be with her and the children? Because maybe she felt abandoned. Because he literally retired and then 3 months later or something was like, all right, I'm back.
Nope, I still got it.
JK.
Yeah, he could have stayed retired making Papa John's pizza commercials back when racist ass John Schnatter was the president. You know, him and his little love threesome that they have.
Ugh.
Him, John Schneider, and stuffed crust pizza. Like, no, sorry, that special sauce, that special garlic sauce.
That garlic sauce is
that
tasty.
garlic sauce was the shit.
It was, and I liked it.
You know, this is what I will say. Papa John's Pizza. If you live in an area where
there's no pizza shops,
yeah. It's a really good choice for pizza.
When I was in DC, that's the only type of pizza I ate.
And really, you didn't take Domino's?
Domino's
started getting better.
Because remember that before they changed
they
the
did
crust,
that 5 for $5, yeah.
The crust was still that super doughy crust, but once they changed it over to that little buttery crust, I said okay. And then also when I lived in Northeast, I used to go to Pizza Hut a lot because I loved Pizza Hut.
Here's a quick scam that everybody at Howard used to do back when they were doing the 5 for $5 or whatever it was called, like the 555 pizza. We would order the pizza, right? And then we would pretend like we didn't order it, like we would just be in the lobby and stuff, and make the dude wait, and then he'd have to like sell it. So we would just like I'll give you $5 for it instead of like, you know, paying for the actual 5 pizzas. I was just like, I'll take one. So and paying $5.
I literally never.
Yeah, it's a scam.
I never did that.
It's a scam. And then he would hang around the lobby until enough people like took the pizzas. And then send him on his way. Yeah, that's what a scam is. A scam is somebody is getting harmed and hurt. Well, not harmed, but like somebody's financially getting.
Scam Elon Musk. He's not getting hurt.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
only scam the big guys.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay, well, they're breaking up. She's gonna get, like, I'm sure, a lot of money.
Yes.
And we'll find a new wealthy man to marry her and for help raise their children.
You know what I never hear of? I never hear of just like, and maybe this is just wishful thinking on my case, but like you never hear of just like a divorce where like they lived wealthy and then finally like they just marry some Joe Schmo who's holding down.
What's her name? Melissa Bezos, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. She did that.
Everybody's a Joe Schmo when your ex-husband is literally a fucking billionaire.
He was like a private school teacher, but he did. They are getting divorced.
Yeah, and she got a big ass lump sum of his money after that. So like, and he's still a billionaire. So like, she's good. So like, she never needs to work again.
Yeah.
So of course she can marry a Joe focus on marrying a Joe Schmo.
Love.
Yes, marrying for love, as opposed to marrying for financial gain and titles and brands and lordships and crowns.
It's not Bridgerton.
Yes, it's not Bridgerton or Game of Thrones or House of Dragons. House of the Dragon. God.
It's hard, okay? Black people love to add the S.
Yeah, and drop the duh.
And it makes sense. House of the Dragons. It does.
Hey, like, and this is also something that was in my household. How many people out there, rest in peace to Prince, but when he was going through that stuff with his label and he decided to go by the artist formerly known as Prince, how many of y'all actually were just like, I'm not calling him that. I'm gonna call him Prince. I know him as Prince.
I'm calling him Prince.
Like, I'm not buying any albums that say the artist formerly known as on the fucking
because it
cover.
looked like that sign.
It was the sign, and then he had a guitar that was built based on that sign, and I'm just like, all right, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So speaking of possible separations,
Yes.
And you can speak more to this since you've been really in the know, but
I can.
CM Punk in AEW, recently he got into a big brawl with a few other guys. He was
brawl out. He after a after the pay-per-view All Out, there was a press scrum. At which point, Kevin Nash, while sitting next to Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, CM Punk took it upon himself to badmouth everybody in the company. Not everybody. He badmouthed the Elite, which is comprised of Matt, Nick Jackson, and Kenny Omega. He said that the EPs were babies. He badmouthed Colt Cabana and told him that like he shares his bank account with his mom. He badmouthed Hangman. He was just like, he said he was basically like, I'm old and tired and I work with a bunch of fucking babies. And meanwhile, Tony Khan is just the owner of the company that he's sitting right next to. Effectively his boss is just sitting there, just staring ahead, not trying to make eye contact.
Was this when he was eating the muffin?
Yes, he was eating the muffin the entire time.
I did not know that guy was the owner.
Yes,
he looks so young.
Yeah, CM Punk was eating the muffin. The other guy. Yeah, well, he's a part of the Khan family. He owns like the Jacksonville football team. Like I don't think it's the Panthers. I want to say it's
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
You
know what? Because I remember
because they're
his name.
cats. Yeah.
From The Good Place would always talk about them.
Yeah, Bortles.
Yeah.
Yes. Jacksonville Jaguars. But yeah. So after the scrum, after CM Punk did all that, the Elite, there was a kerfuffle, there was a fisticuffs in
melee.
In which the Elite broke through the door. There was an altercation. They broke the door in through to CM Punk's locker room, and there was an altercation. There was a brawl. I've been calling it brawl out. And ever since then, there's been an ongoing investigation to sort of like figure out like what instigated it, who's at fault, who's in the wrong. There's been radio silence on both the Elite's part and on CM Punk's part, like since then. This is like 2 months of investigating. But now it seems as though the investigation has come to an end. There are talks that AEW are looking to buy out CM Punk's contract. There are already promos of, and by the way, during this time period, the AEW wrestling program didn't mention CM Punk or the Elite. Like, not at all. It was just like radio silence on the company's part, on the Elite's part, on CM Punk's part, and they were just effectively written off TV with no explanation. Now, as of this past week, there are promos showing the Elite, of Kenny Omega, of the Young Bucks, that's Matt and Nick Jackson, which would indicate that whatever the fallout of the investigation was, it leaned in favor of the Elite. Okay. And again, this goes along with the rumors that are saying that AEW are looking to buy out CM Punk's contract. They want nothing to do with him. They don't want to bring him back. He's a grown ass man.
But didn't he just get back?
Yeah, he literally almost a year to the day he returned to WWE. It was such a big. I mean, not WWE, to AEW. It was such a big thing.
Because he had gotten hurt and, like, he was gone for a while.
He spent years away from professional wrestling, you know? Like, to the point where people weren't thinking that he was ever going to wrestle again. And he had a banger of a year as far as like storylines within AEW, with matches against Eddie Kingston, with matches against Hangman Page, like and MJF. Like, he was really doing like top-notch quality work within wrestling, to the point where like arguably he could have been considered wrestler of the year out of the entire world of wrestling. I'm talking like within WWE, AEW, New Japan, MLA, like all of the wrestling companies. But if this is how he's gonna end up going out, like I can't feel sorry for him. Because there's that saying that if you if you spend your entire day running into assholes, then maybe you're the asshole.
So he basically pulled a Kanye.
Yeah, yes, he did. He basically sabotaged his entire career. And the man is I don't know the man personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just a fan of wrestling, and I'm a fan of his. It's very disappointing as a fan to know that, like, all of this could have been easily mitigated and figured out with, like, just simple conversation. Just simply talking things out. But instead, he had to go and, pull a dick move by burying the company and the talent within the company live on TV right after he won the top title within that company, right next to the president of the fucking company, the owner of the company. Like, I have no sadness or sympathy for the man if this is all true, as far as his contract being bought out.
He should have pulled a Marshawn Lynch and said, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Because maybe he was tired, he'd been working a lot.
He had just got finished wrestling a brutal match with John Moxley.
So I feel like he should have just said, you know what, let me take a beat. But we'll see what happens. And who knows?
We shall see.
White men generally fail up, so he
I mean,
might end up being back.
There's
on
nowhere
there.
else for him to fail. Like he's nuclear to AEW. AEW doesn't want him. There are some talks that WWE would be interested in maybe bringing him in, but he notoriously had a bad falling out with WWE and Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is no longer the owner or anything to do with WWE anymore. It's now being run by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. He notoriously doesn't have that high a favor with Triple H. So we'll see. We'll see what happens to him. We'll see.
All right. Now this is switching gears a little bit. We have to say we are sending a quick recovery to Chris Redd from Saturday Night Live because somebody punched him outside of the Comedy Cellar in Greenwich Village the other night, or maybe it was today or yesterday.
No, this was the other night.
Okay. He was just coming out of his car because he was going to perform. Someone just ran up and punched him. They said he got a cut on his face. He went to the hospital. He's been released, and etc. But there was no rhyme or reason behind it. So it's like, was it one of those things where someone's just like, remember those slap games that the people would be playing? Like, if it was something like that, or if it was just somebody who was like seeing a celebrity and just wanted to like attack them. But speedy recovery, people. Keep your hands to yourself.
Don't fuck with people. Like,
I don't
understand how people don't understand this thing. This simple lesson.
The bare minimum.
The bare minimum is keep your hands to yourself. Don't fuck with people. Don't leave people alone.
He's just going about his
business. Like, one, people are just minding their own business. Two, you don't know who you're fucking with. You don't. You could end up punching out a motherfucker in McDonald's, and then all of a sudden they pull out a machete, and
it could be a taken situation.
It could be a taken situation.
You don't want Liam Neeson coming and blinding you.
And Chris Redd has money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what his pockets are or whatever like that. But
looking at Chris Redd's face, he has some cousins.
Yeah,
he might not do it.
He's been from some places,
but he has some cousins. He has some friends.
Yeah,
who will come and find you.
All you need is a good cousin and a description.
What was that movie we watched with Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes?
True Story.
True Story.
Yes.
We saw how that. With no spoilers.
No spoilers.
But we saw how that movie went.
Yes.
Or the TV show. Don't just assume because someone's just making jokes and ha ha he he that they are just gonna let you get over with whatever. Okay. Sometimes just let people be. Like, I don't know what the intention was behind this. Hopefully it was not some sort of targeted attack towards him.
Yeah.
But just, like, keep your hands to yourself. It's the bare minimum. We don't need to go any further. We just wish him a speedy recovery. And I hope that he is not, having any lingering trauma from this. Because that would freak me out. If I've been walking down the street, I'm coming out of my car and someone punches me, like, would I want to leave my house? Those things are a form of trauma. So wishing him a speedy recovery.
Speaking of assaults, It's not the only assault that's been happening. Like,
Okay.
motherfuckers out there are crazy.
But do you want to know why this one honestly scares me a lot more? Because of all the rumblings behind it. Okay, so boom. Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked in their home in California by a man wielding a friggin' hammer. Mm-hmm. His name is David Pepe. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's 42 years old. He is
David DePape.
He has ties to a radical nudist act. Okay.
What?
That's
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I didn't read that part before. That he has ties to a radical nudist activist.
I feel like
That part is not. That's why do we need to have that part either way?
Nudists are notoriously chill.
They are. Who? First of all, you can't not be chill when you got your stuff out.
No, like now all I could. This isn't funny. The attack and the assault is not funny. But now all I can think of is that this dude ran up on Nancy Pelosi's husband naked.
No, I don't think he was naked.
I don't think he was naked because then he had a hammer. Where was he hiding the hammer? There's only wait, and now I'm wondering if that's what what they meant when they said the hammer.
Imagine this man walking up to you with a hammer. That's a horrible picture. Anyway, thankfully Nancy Pelosi's husband is fine.
Yes.
He went to the hospital. They said after
of course he's white.
Successful surgery, he had on a fractured skull. He's going to be and also injuries to his left arm and both hands. He's going to be okay. But the scary part is that this was a targeted attack because he was looking for Nancy. And there are plenty of domestic terrorist extremists that there have been warnings about, which we've known since say Obama, right? We know that there were people who were domestic terrorists who were searching for political figures. But ever since 45 came into office, things have gone up. The domestic terrorists have gone up. All the times that people were warned that the FBI, the military, and the CIA, etc., were being infiltrated. Nobody was listening, and now all these things are coming to head. And the scary part is that I was reading that there have been a lot of threats due to the upcoming elections this November.
Yes.
And that they're targeting political figures. So that's like, think of everybody on January 6th, everybody whose offices people were going to try to get them. Nancy Pelosi, Alexandria Cortez, like everybody, they are looking for them. And that is very scary to think that your elected officials could have this amount of hatred towards them because of stupid things people are reading online, majority of which are not true, that people are coming to their house and attacking their family with the hammers. I mean, and thank God this was like, that he's going to be okay. But I was reading this, I felt like I was watching an episode of Scandal. Like, it just felt so unreal, and I feel like that this needs to be taken really seriously because you can't have your elected officials.
Did they say that the dude was apprehended?
Yeah, no, he was apprehended. Nancy Pelosi's husband covertly was able to call police to let them know about the intruder. They tackled him. They got her away, even though he was able to harm him a little bit. But it's just like, this man is 42 years old. He's not a little kid. It's not like he's like a young boy on some incel website who just got the wrong information and was coming to do some bullshit. This is a grown man. His frontal cortex is fully formed. And he made this decision on his own with the help of whatever bullshit activists on Parler that Kanye's talking about. Like, this is the things that we're dealing with. And I think that we really all of us need to be very prudent. If you haven't checked to see whether or not you can register to vote, go do it. Make sure to vote during the election because there are plenty of things. In 5 states, slavery is on the ballot. And I'm not.
Of course it is.
There's so many things, and regardless of where you are, you have to be.
That doesn't even surprise me.
There's so many things that are happening, the different provisions and all that, and that's like, I always vote, but I never really think, let me look at all the different earmarks and all that. But like, you have to at this point.
Yeah,
because we're slowly.
A lot of bullshit could get through, and
might
not. So hey, stay ready, stay knowledgeable. Vote in November.
And honestly, if you guys want to be scared into voting, go read Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. That's all I'm going to say, but it gives a very good glimpse into how crazy shit can get if we do not all pull together, get out there, vote, and make sure that we are getting the right policies and people passed through, because this right here is it's insanity.
Also read Super Fudge. It's a good book.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I haven't read that one in a long time.
I haven't read it in a long time. I mean, why would I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
would you date anybody who, if you went to their place, all they had were children's books?
Are they a teacher?
No. They're just like
Then no.
really into
Is it
Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys.
So is it young adult fiction, or is it like like Dr. Seuss?
Like it's like Narnia and
If they had young adult fiction books, okay.
but that's the only books that they had.
Yeah, because I feel like young adult books are really good. A lot of them have really good writing, stories, plots, etc.
Sure, but I'm talking like Encyclopedia Brown though. Like, you remember what if they had just Goosebumps? They just had a bunch of Goosebumps books in their bookshelf,
that would be,
as if they were like, you know, like this is my literature collection.
I think that if they're chapter books and because some books for
as
teens,
long as it's a chapter book,
I think some books for teens can be written very well. Okay, so I could say like I love young adult
R.L.
fiction.
Steinhead over here.
I love young adult books. Okay. I also I read young adult and I read adult books, but I think that if it was like say older adult, you know, or older young adult, maybe like 15 and up, you know, because the content's gonna be better, the writing's gonna be better.
I'm talking about like the type of books that fourth graders write their book reports about.
I mean, if it's all box, unless you're a writer or a teacher or something like that, I think that would be a little curious. Like, why do you? I think that young adult books should get the same amount of respect that like adult fiction gets. Because honestly, I feel like a lot of young adult books have way more imagination and creativity than an adult book.
Yeah, do you see that? That's a shot at you, Danielle Steele.
Sorry. There's not I feel like because people think this moment you become, you know, an adult that you're not interested in like whimsy or imagination and creativity, but like I want to be whimsical as fuck. You know, I love to know about fairies and I want to have like glitter thrown around when some sort of spirit comes in or something. Like I want to have a story with imagery and not just like, oh, they're mad and they're angry and they're sexy and they're brooding. Like that's very one-sided, which is what a lot of adult fiction is. But I think that it would be weird if somebody had literally no adult books. Like, I would really have to be curious as like, why? Unless you're someone who's actually like a children's book writer or a young adult book writer or a teacher. Okay. I think those are my kind of classifications.
Okay. This might have to be our last one just because I know
we're gonna get through it.
I know. But remember that like I pushed record. Afterwards. So
okay. One, Elon Musk has
purchased Twitter.
Purchased Twitter officially.
So get all of your jokes out, Black Twitter. Get all the jokes as you possibly can out, because you know he fired that VP who banned Trump, right?
But did he? Because
actually, I saw mixed reports about that.
Another article on TMZ that was saying that Twitter layoffs were a hoax, and that there were basically, it's just really funny actually. Basically, these two guys dressed up as employees who were fired. So Rahul Ligma is still there. Oh, sorry. No, Rahul Ligma is not a Twitter employee. He said he was, and that the whole entire team of data engineers was let go. That was not the truth. And they were just basically trolling, which is honestly hilarious in some way. Yeah. But I think that we still should be worried about this. I've already seen people saying that like they were reporting certain type of posts and they weren't being verified or whatever. So I think there's going to be Twitter is going to be the way it is. Mm-hmm. There are going to be something that's going to be weird. I don't think there's going to be a mass exodus because where are they going to go? People always say they're going to get off Twitter for whatever reason. They always do, and they come back. So I think it's just more about being very mindful about your posts, what's happening with them, who's engaging with them, and maybe you need to mute yourself. Maybe you need to like mute people, and just maybe be very diligent about like your VPN and different security things because we know how much they like to dox people.
Yes.
But honestly, you know, I always say I feel like we need more regulations with the internet and with social media because right now it is exactly like the Wild Wild West where people are just having gunfights everywhere and blowing shit up. And we need to protect ourselves from that and protect others from that. So who knows where this is going to go, but I mean, here we are.
Here we are.
Also, on an unrelated note, Matthew Perry really hates Keanu Reeves.
So he has a book coming out.
He has a memoir coming out.
And we were just talking about Friends, right? And so he has a book coming out, and there's like an excerpt from the book, and
the book is called Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. Oh, I thought you were.
No, I was just.
No.
I thought you were talking.
Oh no, the book's coming out soon, and he talks like the first part of when I was hearing about this book, well, the memoir was that he was writing about he struggled with addictions that he's had.
Yes.
The different women he loved, like Julia Roberts and all that. But then apparently it came out that he basically hates Keanu, and he said something like, how come people like River Phoenix are dead and Heath Ledger are dead, but Keanu Reeves is still walking among us? People hated that because we love Keanu Reeves.
We love Keanu Reeves.
He is a unproblematic phase.
Yet another, he's been around long enough for some shit to come out, but like there's a whole slide online of him taking pictures with women fans and him like just hovering behind them, like how like the hand sometimes when you're taking a picture with somebody, they put the hand on the small of your back or something like that. He never makes any contact. He just hovers there, like his hand just hovers. Like he's just like, I'm not trying to get in trouble. I don't want there to be any misconstruing of my intent. This is not intimacy. This is a picture of me and a fan, and I stand that. If anybody ever comes up to me on the street and wants to take a fan picture, I'm pulling a Keanu.
I mean,
I'm dodging you left and right. Like, that's what I mean. Like, this is the Matrix. Like, ooh, and you'll have a weird ass picture to have to explain to social media
why someone was going.
Why he was going like this. Whoa.
Well, Matt Perry said, I'm actually a big fan of Keanu. I just chose a random name. My mistake. I apologize. I should have used my own name instead, which is actually not an apology.
That's not an apology at all.
Now, someone said something that I thought was very interesting. They were saying that they wonder if Matthew Perry, because they all came up at the same time.
Yeah.
If at that time, people used to rag on Keanu so much.
Yeah. And
how much of that was because he was not, Keanu's not white. He's white and I believe Korean or Hawaiian. But he's Asian.
He's something, yeah.
He's white and Asian. And I wonder how much of this hate that used to come towards him was because all these other white boys who weren't getting as many roles as him, that wasn't getting as much love, and seen as the pretty boy, the pretty face as him, were just mad that he was getting all of these things that they thought they deserved.
Yeah.
And so that hatred has been from 94 to now, it's still there. And they're like, I can't believe this. What is it? Is it that? Is it just that he has had a more long-standing career? Because I liked Fools Rush In. I did. I thought it was a cute
Of
movie.
all the Keanu Reeves
No,
movies?
that was Matthew Perry.
Sorry, Matthew Perry.
I liked Fools Rush In, but how many other movies has he been in recently? I can't think of one. Barely any shows.
I'm struggling to think of a Matthew Perry movie. I was gonna say, was he in the one with not Jack Nicholson, with Danny,
Yes,
not Danny DeVito.
Danny Blue Eyes? No.
No. He's a therapist.
Yes. Oh man.
There was a sequel too.
Yes.
What is the Matthew Perry? Anybody out there watching? I know who's watching, but
was it what's his name? It was Matthew Perry and
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. I remember this one, and I actually liked that one.
It is. Look who's talking.
Come on. Now, if Google can't even find you,
damn it! What is the name of the fucking movie that Matthew Perry was in?
If Google can't find you, I feel like
it has a title like "Look Who's Talking," but it's not
like,
"Look Who's Talking" because he's a therapist, and Robert De Niro is like in the mob or something like that.
Yes, it was Mickey Blue Eyes.
No, it is not Mickey Blue Eyes because there was a
That's a terrible picture of him.
Well, he also just looks terrible. Just as a.
Somebody said that Matthew Perry was the least favorite in Friends, but I don't believe that. I think David.
Yeah, it's David Schwimmer.
Yeah, because he said that thing about there should be they should make a new Friends with black people or something like that. Something stupid.
Yeah, and then we already have Living Single,
the first one,
which
the
was
better one.
The better one, yeah.
We are living single. In this kind of world, I'm glad I got my girl. Keep your head up, boy. Keep your head up. That's right.
This life, that's right. To fight with those
to my left and my right, it's true. It's not like glue.
Okay, we don't have time for this.
I'm sorry. You shouldn't have sung the song. All right, we're gonna just find this name because it's gonna drive me the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
It was with Bruce Willis.
Oh,
there we are.
Oh. Bruce
But
Willis.
I mean, like you have Friends until 2004, and then really much of nothing.
Studio 60, which was
I don't even know what that was.
You don't remember that? It came out the same time as 30 Rock, and they were basically like the same show, except I think D.L. Hughley was on Studio 60. It was basically like more of a dramedy than a comedy.
Oh, that is D.L. Hughley. I honestly cannot remember this, but Aaron Sorkin made it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
So you know Aaron Sorkin, very, very wordy, very talky.
Yeah. I mean,
ugh.
he's definitely had continuous 17 again, remember that one. He's had continuous movies.
Shout out to also as a side note, shout out to they're not here anymore, but Black Tony Stark and Aaron with Lula. They had joined at one point.
Oh,
if I had known, I would have shouted you out a long time ago.
Well, I mean, hey, he hasn't had anything on his IMDb since 2017, so maybe he was trying. My theory is he put that in that book because he knew everybody was going to talk about it, and they were going to buy the book to read what he said about Keanu.
Yeah,
but now I think
otherwise,
that
who's going to read a Matthew Perry book?
Someone, everybody has time.
Really, like Friends fanatics. But but hey, it is what it is.
But then now allegedly he's like he had some weird things to say about Selma Hayek too from Fools Rush In. So he's just calling the shots on everybody.
Don't come for Selma Hayek.
Don't come for Selma Hayek. Although she did have that. Remember that time when she was at a round table with a bunch of other actresses and she was saying something about like diversity and who had to call her out? You'll find it. But still, I love her. She's a great actress, and she does not deserve slander.
Yeah, she does not. Absolutely not.
All right, so we have something. Well, we're going to talk about that last thing during the last part.
Sure.
Before we go, do you want to talk about that last one, or do you want to wait to another segment to talk about it?
Let's talk about it in another segment.
All right. So, BRB people, we got to restart the live again before it shuts us off.
Yes. All right. We will be back with more of the Black and Snurdy podcast.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
We now return to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
Hello!
Now, you know damn well that's not what we do.
It's not.
Hey, girl, is he everything you wanted in a man? You know I gave you the world. You had me in the palm of your hand. So why your love went away? I just can't seem to understand. Thought it was me and you, baby. Me and you until the end. But I guess I was wrong. Don't wanna think about it, don't wanna talk about it. I'm just so sick about it. Can't believe it's ending this way. Just so confused about it, feeling the blues about it. I just can't do without you. Tell me, is this fair? Is this the way it's really going down? Is this how we say goodbye? Should've known better when you came around that you were gonna make me cry. It's breaking my heart to see you run around, 'cause I know that you're living a lie. But that's okay, baby, 'cause in time you will find what goes around, goes around, goes around, goes all the way back around. Yeah. What goes around, goes around, goes around, goes all the way back around. Yeah. Okay, that's enough.
All right. Well, first,
Yes.
we got to do these things.
Yes. So, part 2. This time, we are sending one out to everybody at HU.
You know.
For a successful completion of Homecoming 2022. We damn sure made up for it. You know?
After 3 years.
After 3 years of fucking Panini press ass nonsense that we've had to deal with on a global scale, we came back with force, with a vengeance. We shut down the campus. We shut down
the
Georgia.
DMV was done.
We made it incredibly hard for anybody who was trying to get an Uber. We paid all those Ubers all the extra surcharge.
We did.
And we made it incredibly hard for people who were trying to specifically meet people at specific times at specific events, but then had to wait like 30 fucking minutes just for the car to arrive, and then an extra 20 minutes, and then an extra 20 minutes outside because everybody and their mama wanted to line up to get into the fucking bando. So cheers to Howard. Cheers to all the alums. Cheers to everybody who showed up, showed out, and did their thing.
Thank you. Whew. So I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. Well, one, isn't there a special song we're supposed to be playing for our mental health segment?
You didn't even let me. I just got finished with my shot. Like,
I'm sorry.
oh my goodness.
I'm
like,
sorry.
You take some weeks off, and all of a sudden, nobody knows how to do anything.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. What about it?
I want you to put it over here so we can see it.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. Okay, so anyhow, of course, this is our mental health section. This is the part of the podcast where me and Odie check in with each other on our mental health journeys. We are mental health advocates, not experts. And, you know, we are champions when it comes to supporting mental health and mental health awareness and self-care.
Yes, and so one of our questions from the mental health table topics. How often do you know you're right, but let it go to avoid an argument?
Never.
Yeah. And not even when you're right.
That's first off, I some people would call me or classify me as argumentative.
Oh, really?
I don't think I am.
Wow.
I would not assume that I am.
I'm
but
so
some
shocked.
people would definitely and by the way, it was I Run with Lulu. Like, that's who it was. So shout out to you. Anyhow, just saying hi. Yeah, I you know what? When it comes, all right, if it comes to like family, I'll walk away. I'll just keep my mouth shut. I'll just keep it shut and just be like, you know, it is what it is. But if it's friends, nah, I'm opening my mouth.
But you do that even when you're wrong.
First off, it's not true.
It is too true.
It's absolutely not
How
true.
many bets have I won?
You have won.
I've won more than a handful.
You won
I've won more than a
a
handful.
number of bets. I'll
And the
put it that
reason
way.
why I win those bets is because you refuse to believe that you're wrong. Even when it's not a bet. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I'm giving you honest feedback that even when you're wrong, you don't. If you think that you're right, you still want to have the argument.
What I will say is that when it comes to friends, it's easy to have those conversations because it's an open dialogue that won't linger. Like, there won't be hard feelings felt afterwards. And you won't end up having to have it held over you for ever.
Oh, that's true. We're generally pretty good about that.
Yes. Yes, we are generally good at that.
And I say generally.
Yes, I put the emphasis on the word general.
For me, I would say it's about a 60-40.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like having arguments with people in general. I don't like confrontation.
Yes.
So there are plenty of times where I believe that I am right, where I will just let it go because I have no interest in arguing with someone who's committed to not listening to me. However, I feel like I've tried to push back against that a little bit with myself, regardless of who it is, because I feel like that I would rather say my piece than have it like lingering behind me of like, oh, I should have said this thing. So that's been definitely a work in progress. And with certain people, like, with you, I'm gonna tell you regardless. Like, I'm gonna tell you this, I didn't like it. I thought you were wrong, and we're gonna have a discussion about it. With other people, I probably might not do that as much. But I think that it is sometimes. I think of this phrase: would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? Because being right, if I know I'm right, I'm right. So I don't need to like go back and forth with somebody. Because if you believe that you're right, then I'll just let you have it.
But I like being both.
But
I like
sometimes
being happy and right.
You can't always be happy and be right.
I know.
Because everything's about perception. Yes. So the way that you might perceive yourself as right, you still have to be able to pay attention to that. You have to put yourself in that other person's shoes. So there are times when we might be having a disagreement, and you may feel that you are right, and I don't feel that you're right because we have two different perceptions about the thing, and the way that you're perceiving it is all have to do with you. And so there might not be a point of me arguing about that with you because the way that you've perceived it is not going to change. Mm-hmm. Maybe afterwards if I could bring it up again or something, but I don't feel like that's always necessary to like cause conflict in relationships versus just saying, you know what, you got it.
Right. Fair. That's fair.
All right. So now that that's out of the way, how has your mental health been this last week or two?
It's actually not been the greatest. I made a mistake, and I will get into that a little bit later. But I have not been on my meds the last few days. I have not had access to my medication. I normally, which is also strange because I normally get a notification that it's time to refill my. I just got. Now that I'm thinking about it, I just got finished talking to my psychiatrist, and he said that he was going to put in a notification to.
They didn't text you?
No, they didn't text me. I guess I'll go there tomorrow and see if there's any medication waiting for me. But yeah, I normally get like a phone call and a text message that's like, hey, the pharmacy has your medication. Mm-hmm. So like, I guess we'll see.
We'll see. Was that it?
Yeah, that's mainly the main thing. Like it's been a little bit tough without my medication. Mm-hmm. I don't like being off of it. You
gotta build back up.
Yeah, because then you gotta build up the tolerance and everything.
But at least
like
it's
that.
only been a week, and it takes longer.
Damn it! I don't have that fucking drop.
But I think that like even without your medicine, you've still been mindful and
not sure what that was, but we're back.
So yeah, I think that you've been doing a good job of keeping yourself even keel and figuring things out and not like having too many ups and downs, even without this last week of having it. And you did your due diligence. You spoke to your psychiatrist. You told them they've gotten it squared away. So by this time Monday, you'll have your medicine back in.
Yeah.
And I want to remind you to not beat yourself up because
I have forgiven myself.
Someone
We retrieved the thing. We retrieved the medication.
And sometimes
it's on the way.
You just forget things.
Shout out to Gladys. You're
Shout
a real
out to
one.
Gladys.
You're
Thank
a
you
real
very
one.
much.
Appreciate that.
Sometimes shit happens and you cannot, as someone who has literally forgot a book bag with her whole entire laptop and passports in it, still can't tell you how that happened.
I
still can't tell because I'm not. Even though
either.
I might lose things around the house, I generally don't lose big things.
Yeah.
It's because I'm just always too, like it'll be like, oh shit, where's my thing? But sometimes it happens, and you just have to remember that like you didn't do that on purpose. Like who would? And just sometimes shit happens out of our control.
Well, it's fine. I've given myself the necessary grace to allow myself the space to, be okay with what has happened. What's done is done. It is what it is, and all I can do is move forward.
Exactly. Okay, for me, I would say my mental health has been pretty good. I'm still looking for a new psychiatrist. I've been going to therapy. That's been good. I've still, of course, always a work in progress.
Yes.
But I do want to say that I feel that, like, when I think about where I was this time last year, and even this time, like the year prior, I feel like so many things have gotten better.
Sorry, I said Richard Pryor for some reason. Because I heard the word Pryor, and I was like,
yes.
Richard Pryor.
It made sense. Word association.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there was, previously I feel like 2020 was a very difficult time for me because I was dealing with I was dealing with family things, like having really sick relatives.
Yes.
That was really draining on me.
Yes.
And having a terrible job that was just causing me to be like my anxiety and my stress and my overall self, I feel like was like when I look back at where I was then to now and the things that I was dealing with, I'm like I like, of course it was a necessary thing to happen to be where I was, but I also am like, you are so close to the mic.
But I'm not speaking.
The way you're looking is so close to me. Was that like I was back in a place that I had sworn that I would not be again.
Yes.
When it comes to work, because I don't believe that work should be draining you in any sense of the way, or like causing you to lash out, or causing you to just have a negative experience in your body and in your life. And unfortunately, that was where I was, and now I'm in a completely different space. And like therapy has definitely helped with so much of that. I think that like my therapists and I have really dug into things, and I feel like expedited, like maybe because we were at home that I was like spending more time with myself, but I feel like my therapy kind of like went really quick, like, or not really quick, but like I feel like we were touching on things and working on things that we hadn't worked on before, that I wasn't able to even realize I needed to work on because of always being the hustle and bustle of like going to work and coming home, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas this last 2 years, it's been able to really drill down on the things that I needed to work on and to be mindful of. And I feel like that has definitely expedited a lot of healing that I was in need of, which I really appreciate. Like, I love both my therapists. They're amazing. I look forward to having even like, you know, a great relationship with whatever psychiatrist I get next. Because I think that, you know, medication, I think, is my last, because I think in 2020, I had been on medication at the start, I started medication the beginning of 2020, and I was trying different ones, and I think by the time, like, I don't know, let's say the time December or February came, like, it just, none of them were working, and so it just felt like I was in, it was just like a very dark space for me, which I didn't want to be. And so now that I'm no longer taking that medication, I'm really looking forward to getting some more so I can be my best self, or even better than I am right now, and have some of those things that I was struggling with before no longer be an issue. And I think that my 2 therapists now, like, they've definitely helped. But I just like to have as many resources as possible.
Yes.
In keeping myself as mentally healthy as possible. I'm looking forward to going back to the gym. That's another thing that, like, had fallen off for me, and has been, like, kind of difficult to get back into. So I'm definitely, you know, looking forward to just being as healthy and wealthy as possible.
Okay.
The live is doing weird things.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Come on, live.
Ghost.
What's going on?
Get out of here, ghost.
Hold on. Let me just
Click in and go back in.
Yeah. Clicking in, going back in. Just making sure if anybody is out there watching the live, please let us know. I mean, it is Halloween season, so
The veil is thin.
spookiness is happening.
The veil is thin.
Is Mercury?
No, Mercury is Mercury's direct.
I think
Mars goes retrograde on Sunday.
Does that do anything?
Yes, Mars is the planet of war. So sometimes, you know, you got to watch out. Maybe there might be some more arguments. Maybe you need to be
How long is
mindful of
Mars in war for? Because
it. Mars is the planet of war.
Is it gonna be in war for Thanksgiving?
It's not in war. It's a planet of. It's retrograde. It's not in war. It's just retrograde.
Okay, is it gonna be in retrograde for Thanksgiving?
I believe so. But hey, that just means you just be mindful. And you remember how you said, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right?
I got a cousin that hates me.
Does not hate you.
Yeah, well, you know, haven't heard from them in a long time. I won't say anything.
Nobody hates you.
I gotta imagine that one motherfucker.
Maybe a little tiffed, but hey, if they are, whose fault is that?
I will
not
try,
yours.
I'll try to dap it up. I'll try to
It'll be
make
fun.
peace.
It'll be fun. There'll be cheesecake. Nobody's gonna be weird.
Good cheesecake too from Juniors.
Yes. Hey,
And
listen,
not no pumpkin bullshit.
listeners.
No,
Hey,
you know what?
Listeners, can you just poll in?
Let's poll in.
What do you think about
Send an
pumpkin
email.
cheesecake?
Send an email.
What do you think about it?
Letting us know how you feel about pumpkin cheesecake.
Comment on here.
There's
What do
been
you think
so
about
many
pumpkin cheesecake?
Times that we have told people to email in, and we
I know.
do not check the email.
Oh, God, we should do that.
We should do that.
We should do that.
We should do that.
Just let us know. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely, if you were to see pumpkin cheesecake, would you be to eat it?
1 is awful. 10 is also awful in this case because
it is
pumpkin
not.
cheesecake
Pumpkin
is
cheesecake
some
is
bullshit.
delicious.
No, it is not.
Cheesecake delicious. Pumpkin pie delicious. You put them together, it's delicious.
This one over here, she's a cheater pumpkin eater. So
Oh,
of course
You're a
she likes.
You're a cheater.
Of course she likes
He's
pumpkin
a
cheesecake.
huge
Nah,
cheater.
she's the biggest
Never
cheater.
play
She's
Uno
the
with
biggest-
him because
No,
he's
don't
gonna
play.
cheat.
No. Don't play Uno with her because
Don't play
she doesn't
Uno
know the
with
rules.
him. He's
She
going
doesn't
to
know the
cheat.
rules, and
He's gonna
therefore she's gonna try to
win
like
on false
fuck
pretenses.
up everything. Well, my win record stands as it is. Okay,
He's a cheater.
8-2. Did you know that Gladys and C were playing Uno?
Yes, they were twinsies.
Twinsies.
I
Shout out
bet you
to
Gladys and C didn't cheat.
how much you want to bet that C lost honorably? Which speaking of If you're watching this, my sister said it's okay, and I look forward to beating that ass in Uno.
We're going to beat him because he's a cheater.
Nobody's beating me.
He's a cheater.
No one's beating me.
Anyway, you're stressing my mental health out, actually.
Yeah, well...
I don't know if my mental health is feeling better after having to really live.
Would you say that you're angry? Would you say that you're perturbed?
I am.
Well, then maybe you should gripe about it. It's gripes right here. Bring it. What? We gripe here. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe here. This safe space for us to share. Don't even know lyrics. We gripe here. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe here. We done this 54 times, and you haven't learned the lyrics to this.
I, first of all, was letting you have your moment, your day in the sun.
How are you doing that while also singing?
I was singing it and then going on and off.
No, you were singing it until you got to the part where you didn't know the fucking lyrics.
I did know the lyrics at that part. I just chose not to sing them.
Sing it. Sing it.
Bringing it. What? We gripe here. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe here. It's a place for us to share. We gripe here. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe here.
Safe space for us to share.
Whatever. Just because I did it, even after
Safe
all
space.
of your shenanigans.
Safe space. She's listened to this 54 times.
Whatever.
54 times.
Whatever.
Enough to 2 years worth of this. And hasn't deigned to learn the You also don't know the lyrics to the intro.
Dinged. Who are you? I was going to say, are you Queen Elizabeth, but
I am the... Wow.
Not her.
I was going to do something in poor taste.
Oh, don't do it.
It's good to be alive. It's good to be alive.
Can you get on with it?
All right. I went first this time. You go first this time.
Oh, what's making me angry? Yes. Well, okay, so there's two things that were making me angry. Do you want to with the serious thing or the silly thing?
Start with the serious and then go with the silly.
Okay, number one. Well, yes, Kanye. This is what's making me angry with Kanye.
This is actually going to be the same thing for me.
So you want me to do my first one first?
Yeah, I'll jump in.
All right.
I'll jump in.
Here we go. Love is Blind, season 3. Mm-hmm. I'm really loving, I love all these shows. These are the only type of really reality shows that I'm ever interested in watching.
I notoriously, infamously, and iconically hate reality
because
shows.
I feel like there's once they become the problem with the reality shows is after the first or second season, they notoriously become super scripted.
Yeah, everything is literally just like, you know, like it becomes like a watered down version of its own self.
Exactly. So it's like with this, I think the key that they've gotten is that it's new people each season. Yeah. Except for like when they have an After the Altar thing, whatever. Yeah. But like you could tell that it's
Which we have not watched.
We have to finish watching that one. We were stuck on that awkward episode where what's his name comes with his girlfriend and the other girl Mallory's there. So,
which I wouldn't have done. I'm not bringing my girlfriend around
your ex-fiance.
My ex-fiance that I left at the altar, even though I sang her a fucking like beautiful ass song with a ukulele or whatever that guitar instrument was. Like,
well, did he leave her or she left him? He left her.
No, he left her.
Yeah.
She said yes. Actually, no, we never got her answer.
We never got her answer. She said she was gonna say no, but we don't know.
We'll never know.
So, I was really excited.
Is that SK?
No, that's not. That's another black man we never got to see. So okay, let's go first gripes. 1, this show had plenty of black people.
Not enough black people in the finals.
But nobody in the finals.
Oh my God. Go down a little bit again. Oof.
Get out of here. So we see...
I want to be marooned on that island, if you know what I mean. He's wearing maroon pants.
We got to see plenty of beautiful people coming through. And plenty of beautiful black people. And
so
people
many
of color.
black people
there were
and people
so
of color.
many people of color
Oh
on
my
this
God.
one.
And we never got to
And we never. I'm scrolling down here, and I don't
look
see
at
like
this
so
afro
many
and this smile. Oh my god!
of these
I
folks
would marry her in a heartbeat.
that we literally never got to see. Look
First
at this
off-
beautiful. Look at these beautiful brown men
Look
we
at
never
this
got to
brown
see.
shaded. First
All of
off, do
these
you know how
beautiful
many of
shades of
them I would
brown.
that I would just like I'd pull a Boys to Men and get down on bended knee for?
Can you? So the problem I have is that, and Lauren Lauren who's married to oh god, what's his name?
I'm gonna have to make sure that I don't drink all of this and pull a Boys to Men and get till the well runs dry.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Anyway,
I just want boys to. That's gonna be the title of this episode. Pull a Boys to Men.
pull a voice.
I gotta. Oh fuck! I don't have my notebook. I have to remember that.
Yes, I'll
Remind me.
remember it.
Remind me to write that down in the notebook. Pull a Boys to Men is the title of this
So
episode.
there were plenty of black and brown folks on this show during the we're walking through. Everybody's looking in the camera, but at the finals, we have SK and Raven, who are both black. Raven
Yes.
is black and biracial. She's a black biracial woman.
Yes.
We have Nancy, who is Hispanic.
Yes.
We have
Zika? No, not Zika.
Zainab,
Zainab.
who is Middle Eastern, possibly Indian. She has not specified.
Yeah, she hasn't.
We know
straight
her
out said-
family was from London.
Yes.
But she never. We don't get to see her parents because unfortunately they passed away.
Yes. We also have Batiste.
We have Bartiz, who's black and biracial. He's a black biracial man.
Yeah. Wait, did we see his parents yet?
Yeah, remember because they came with his sister. She was crying about the abortion.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
white ass mama, black ass daddy, mulatto butts, mulatto butt, mulatto. That's a real song that exists.
Unfortunately,
That's a real song that
I believe
exists.
you.
And I used to have it as my ringtone for a long time.
I believe you.
Black ass mama, white ass.
Are you done? So we have them, and then who else? I think everybody else, because Cole,
The Archer.
Brennan,
Cole and Colleen.
Colleen.
Brennan and
the Israeli girl.
yeah, fuck, what's her name?
Who's the other girl?
Fuck, scroll down. She's on here somewhere with her ass. Where is she?
Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for the one who's up with Brennan.
That's the Israeli girl, her.
Oh yeah, that. Well, okay, of course that would be her photo. What's her name though?
Oh, her name is Alexa.
Damn it! Nothing.
We don't need you.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
So now, but in the beginning, we see all these different shades of brown on both
Yes.
the male and the female side.
Yes.
We're so excited because we're like, oh, great, we're going to have lots of color this season. And literally, it was the same thing that happened the first and second season.
Second season had a beautiful, thick ass black girl who they only showed once
One
on
time.
a date with Shake.
And Lauren from the first season, I forget her husband's name. Cameron. Cameron.
Yeah.
Lauren is the one who married
I wanted to
Cameron,
say
the white
Cooper
guy.
for some reason.
And so she tweeted, was like, a lot of these couples feel forced for the program.
Oh
and
my
they
God.
could have at least forced some black women through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to force it for the show, we could have at least seen more. Pick somebody else. And it's just every time, it seems like these last two seasons, they keep baiting us with color.
Yeah.
And then we don't really get to see it.
It's a real bait and switch when it comes to diversity because and I said this while we were watching, when it comes down to the finals of who, and mind you, last season, I'm not sure if this was the case for the first season, but last season we found out after the season was over that there were two couples who weren't
Yes.
featured on the show at all.
Yeah, because their story wasn't as good.
Their story wasn't as intense or interesting or whatever like that, but they seemed like they had a good time or
Yeah.
whatever like that. I hope that they at the very least got to go to the
we find out that even though those couples that did say yes, if they're not chosen for the people that are going to be on the show, they don't get to go to those honeymoons.
they don't get to go to the honeymoons.
No.
That's fucked up.
It is
So
very
what?
fucked
So
up.
all they leave and they're like, okay, so we were in the pods and now we're left to
Now
our
we're
own
at home, and
now
we go home and date, and see if we like each other, see if we want to be in a relationship, see if we want to get married, and then
that should be the show.
I think that would be more interesting. It would be more interesting.
In fact, here's a little tweak. You don't do the honeymoon.
Yeah.
You say, let's get married. You go back home and you go back to the real world, right? You get to the marriage, and then those who actually do, like,
Get
say
married,
yes and get
to
married,
living together.
get to go on the honeymoon.
Yeah, that would be good. I think
That would be better.
because it's more normal for you to have we've met.
Because all they're doing is just dating on a vacation, and notoriously, like,
That's not the same thing.
That's not the same thing, because like I don't know if you've ever taken a trip with somebody like that you were dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's always that very first vacation that you take when you're dating somebody. For me, it is anxiety driven, because that's where you really see who that person is, where you see because like who you are in an airport, who you are in a hotel, who you are in an Uber, who you are where you're on vacation is somebody very different than who you are on regular days of interracial couple. On just regular days of your life.
It's true. So I think that like that's a tweak. We should send that to the producers.
Yes.
And maybe next season they just allow only like 2 white people to be on each side.
Yes.
3 max.
Yes. No, not 3 because there's 4 couples. So
Usually there's like 5 or 6 couples.
Are there? Oh yeah, there are 5 or 6 couples.
So we let's say we cap each side with 3. Fill it up. Well, let's see. Wait, before I say that, let me go back and look at all these.
I got the thing in. I got the mass sailing.
There's 1, 2,
yeah,
3, 4, maybe
so many beautiful
5,
women of color.
6.
They're so
7,
beautiful. And why they have to go? I said this
8,
notoriously while we were watching
9,
the
10.
TV.
There's 11 white men.
They got Bartice, Raven, and SK. So between the 3 of them, they make up 2 black people.
Can you?
I said that out loud.
You did not need to say that again on the live. You're gonna give me a heart attack.
Nobody's watching right now.
No, what about when they rewatch or listen?
Let it be known, Odie didn't say shit.
Yeah.
It was Maurice.
It was 100% you.
Maurice was problematic. He said something bad about his own people. At least I didn't pull a Kanye and say anything about, like a whole different group of people, which I'm not going to do at this point at all, because I'm not, 1, that's not what's in my heart, and 2, I'm not crazy. So,
thank you. So like that's my issue 1, that not enough people of color, not enough women of color went through. So many beautiful ones, just the shades of brown, perfect. We didn't get to see them. We didn't get to hear any of their life stories.
Yeah,
we didn't get to see really any one date with them. Like they could have at least showed us a date with somebody.
You know damn well that Randall was talking his like tantric ass off to
Andrew. You mean?
No, Randall.
Andrew was the Asian guy that was.
Oh, why am I thinking Randall?
I don't know.
Okay.
No. Well, I wanted
Andrew.
I liked Andrew, and honestly, Andrew, if you want to teach me some sort of tantric stuff, okay, we can have a little call. He was super cute. He was traveling around the world. Mm-hmm. What is wrong with your face?
Nothing. I didn't say anything, and I'm not saying anything. I've said my 1 each episode.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Please. But okay, yeah, that was my main thing that I was annoyed about. And then okay, the other part for Love is Blind,
yes.
What's his name? Cole. That's the one that's with Zenib.
No, Cole is. I thought Cole was with Colleen.
No, Cole wants to be with Colleen.
Cole wants to be with Colleen,
and that's my number 1 thing, that he got himself fucked up because
he's the one who turned Colleen down.
And Zaynab is gorgeous.
She is.
Look
beautiful.
at her.
She's
beautiful.
She's She got them titties. Okay.
She's smart. She's fun.
Sorry, she's also a fully formed human being with a full range of personality and intellect and interest and thoughts and feelings and peoples and everything like that.
And all those things.
Yes.
She's fun, the fact that he is like been gaslighting her about this whole
he's too much of a jokester. He makes dating a comedian look like dating a sociopath. Wow. Like you really excuse me?
I think that
what was that?
Fact that
excuse me? Do you want to say something to the microphone?
That he keeps acting like him going up to Colleen and saying,
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
You're my type, and I would have definitely loved to fuck you, while your fiance is sitting right there on the other side of the pool, and then coming back and telling her about it and acting like she's not supposed to feel any type of way, that he was just like drooling over this other girl is crazy. And then coming back at her and being like, well, I don't understand why you're still so upset, because you have made it abundantly clear that I am not the lily white woman that you usually date.
I called you a 9. He's like, but is there anyone else who's a 10? Like, yeah, like shut the fuck up.
Why would you even say that? Just shut up. And then Bartice.
Oh, Bartice is a different type of sociopath.
Nancy is so gorgeous.
Yes, she is.
Both of these women are gorgeous. Gorgeous. She has money. She has houses, and you're over here don't even have a fucking hairline.
She has.
And you're over here talking about, well, it's the physical for me. What? Who is physical? Like, you're not even the cream of the crop, sir.
Oh my God, he's this season's Shake.
Yes.
He's this season's Shake.
I feel like he and Cole are both.
Yeah, they're both different. They're both different sides of Shake, because like one. I mean, they're both about like that physical, but like they're both like Shake has no excuse because he was in his 30s, right? Mm-hmm. These two they're both 25 and 26. And
maybe that's what it is. Maybe your frontal cortex does not finish developing until you're 27.
27, yes.
So perhaps it's just that this is why they're making such terrible decisions.
Yeah.
And so
it's also why I should have learned to drive by 27. That's on me. That's on me. Because now it's going to be harder.
I know.
Now it's going to be much, much harder.
But we'll get through it.
Got anxieties being on the road with a bunch of sociopaths. Maybe that should be the title. Just a bunch of sociopaths.
I just feel like
we'll see. I still like the Boys to Men.
They are these men on here. Mm-hmm. It's for once, like, because even Colleen, I thought she was gonna be on some bullshit, but she was not. She's actually been pretty standard and okay.
They're either straight up villains or they're the most boring person in the world.
Yeah.
Because Brennan is so fucking boring. Like, yeah, I grew up poor. I grew up without. That's the most interesting thing about him. Is like, I grew up without gas and electricity inside my house.
The fact that Bartice would try to like railroad Nancy with that abortion conversation with his family, that is not a first meeting. I would literally never.
I'd walk out. I'd be like, excuse me, I gotta leave.
Why would we have this conversation with your family? I'm just meeting them. There's so many other things to talk about. Talk about how I have a real estate business and I'm making all this money. Talk about the work that I do with children. I'm a speech pathologist. Like, but you're gonna bring up
literally
abortion?
talk about anything
and say, oh well, I told her I wouldn't want to abort a baby if it had any issues, but she said she's gonna kill it. Like, that is not something you would say to your in-laws. It's a very delicate situation.
I hope she leaves him at the altar.
Me too.
If she says yes and Bartice says no, I'm going to be annoyed.
Because he does not deserve her.
He doesn't deserve her.
He does not.
He does not deserve her.
Was talking about, oh, Raven is just a knockout and da-da-da, and she's
a smoke show.
Like, why would you tell me that? That is not information that anybody that you're with needs to know.
Now imagine imagine me. Like, I'm not gonna be able to go on Love is Blind because like I think there's sadly a criteria on this show. As much as I would love to go on this show, and if Love is Blind is watching and you want a non-traditional looking black man who would totally nail it, like, I would totally nail it. I would totally nail all the interview processes.
Oh,
and
I would be perfect in the pods.
I would be fucking interesting as shit, you know. And of course, you'd be able to get on the show. You got a good personality.
Although I would be really upset if I opened the doors and.
Yes! If I opened the doors and I was not satisfied,
You know
I'd
what
be
it
like,
makes me think about?
I would be like,
You remember?
because everybody else is all like, oh my god. I'd be like,
Do you remember with like AIM
kidding
and
me?
Yahoo Chat and stuff like that, where you would like talk to somebody and then maybe you would go out of the forum and you would talk one-on-one, maybe even do like a little voice call or something, and then you'd be talking, and it's a great situation, it's a great vibe, and then they would send you a picture.
yeah, I notoriously have a story about that in which I found out that I was what I thought was talking to a young lady. It would turn out to be a full-grown man.
Wow. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that would have been terrible if that door's open.
I'm glad that we didn't meet up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a man. We didn't meet up in person.
But that always
He was
threw
honest
me
and
off.
told me that he was his age.
Disgusting.
He lied about his age and then told me what his age was. So I
That's
was just like,
disgusting.
oh, okay. Well, first off, you're a man. Second of all, you're much older than me. I don't want a pen pal. I thought you were, and it was we were fans of Spy Kids. So
Oh God. This is like To Catch a Predator.
yeah, no, he knew what he was doing.
Disgusting.
And then when I was just like, it was just like, oh, who are you? Like that's when he couldn't fake the funk no more. I was just like, hey, like I got a video. I have a cam now. Like we could take these like 28 pixels and like see each other online.
Well, that was what was pissing me off.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've gone way deep. So you give me yours.
Oh no, mine's Kanye. Like okay.
Mine is also Kanye. And I think that mine is Kanye,
Mine might
but it's
be-
not even just Kanye. It's not really Kanye as much as like it's the other thing.
Mine has to do specifically with the comments about Kanye. We as a culture, as a people, have to stop driving this narrative that he hasn't been the same since his mom died. Look, I can't tell you how to grieve. I can't tell anybody how to grieve for a loved one, especially a mother, especially a parent. You know, we can't just excuse all of his behavior on the fact that his mom died.
Yeah. And honestly,
He's a grown man.
For a while.
He's a whole ass adult with children, and like he has agency, and he needs accountability
yes.
for everything that he does and say. For the longest time, we've been giving him passes because he makes music and he's a quote unquote genius and whatever like that. Like, let me put it this way. I put Kanye in the same camp as Eminem. In that, he is very proficient musically at what he does.
Is Eminem very proficient?
Yeah, he's proficient at rapping. He's extremely proficient at rapping. He can rap his ass off. Mind you,
Okay.
thank you for cutting me off.
I'm sorry.
We are now a decade removed from the college dropout.
More than that.
We're-
That came out when I think our
That
freshman year.
we were in high school. We're
High
more
school, freshman year,
more
yeah.
than a decade removed from
Jesus.
from college dropout, and we're maybe a decade removed from, like, let's say the height of his musical caliber, which
808s
was
and Heartbreaks?
no, I would say My Dark Beautiful Twisted Fantasy. Right now, I just got finished being at Howard Homecoming. We heard Swag Surf so many fucking times.
We did.
We heard fucking Fantasia.
When I see you.
Yes.
When I see you.
We heard is that too short? What's my first
Yeah.
word? Bitch. At any point did we hear Monster or Through the Wire or coming home. It's homecoming. Nobody played. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? Cause I'm coming home and coming home. That would have been a perfect. It would have been a perfect song. But do you look? My point being that his music, for whatever the caliber that it is not long lasting within the black community. Not really.
I think it would have been.
Nobody's
possibly,
banging gold diggers in the Uber car.
If he did not have such toxic behavior, I think that it could have.
I hear more Future than him, and Future is the king of
Future's
toxicity.
toxic, but like his toxic is surface level toxic.
His is just ain't shit. Nigga, toxic.
Like we can standard toxicness. But talking about you're about to go DEFCON 5 on Jews and loving Hitler and all that bullshit.
White lives matter bullshit.
Yeah, like these are not things that we can, as a community, condone or accept or like, and not to say that
we can't condone.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It sounded like you said we can condone.
No, we cannot condone that.
Okay, we cannot condone that bullshit.
Which
make that clear.
goes into part of like the issue that I've been having with this is that I've been seeing so many black people online saying, well, what about when he said slavery was a choice? Why wasn't he canceled then? It was up to us to cancel him.
That was bad too, guys. That was bad too.
That was bad. But if you, and number one, Judaism is not a race. It is a religion. There are black Jews. There are white Jews. There are Asian Jews. There are Hispanic Jews. There are Jews across the world. So that means it is not, yes, who we see, the mainstream Jewish population happens to be white people. There is a lot of, what is it called?
Ashkenazi.
Normative? Yes.
Ashkenazi normative.
Yeah, but it's more than that, but I cannot pronounce it. The same way, most times you only see white people on TV and straight couples on TV. There's a certain look that is presented. But if you have to be very ignorant to not be aware that there are Jewish people of variety of colors that look completely different. And so
Lenny Kravitz, Drake.
What's his name? Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis Jr.
There's plenty of black Jewish people. So when Kanye is causing harm and saying stereotypical things or saying things that could be causing physical harm to Jewish people, he is still threatening black people. And so if he is getting shut down because he is saying things that are going to cause other black people harm, I don't feel bad about that. And it is not some sort of like Jewish agenda to have, we're so powerful, we're just going to shut down Kanye. The people who should have shut down Kanye when he was talking about slavery was a choice and he was going with Trump and he was making White Lives Matter shirts is us, because that is our black community.
Yeah.
But the whole entire Jewish community and their allies can very much say, that shit's whack, we're no longer going to support you, and now your empire is toppling down. But it is not because Jewish people just run the world, you can't say anything about them or you're going to be taken off TV. It's that perhaps they are just in such solidarity with one another that you can't say bullshit about us unless you are a part of our community. And then maybe then it's a little different, but it is your community's obligation to ensure that you are not saying and doing bullshit that is going to harm your community and an outside community. Because if this was a white man talking about he was going to go DEFCON 5 on black people, it wouldn't matter if he was saying it about black people or about Jewish people or about whoever. We would say that is wrong. That person does not need a platform, because we could already see it doesn't matter that Kanye's a black man.
Remember when we got Don Imus all the way the fuck out of here?
And he just called the girls nappy-headed hoes. It was wrong 100%, but it's like...
But we Voltron together to get that motherfucker out of here.
And we can see that just literally right after Kanye was going on his little spiel about Jewish people, there were these Nazis in fucking California talking about Kanye Kanye was right. Like, people think just because he's a black man that white supremacists aren't going to be vibing with him, when clearly Ben Carson is right there.
Yeah.
Not Colin Powell. Well,
Herschel Walker.
Coon Thomas. Like,
yeah.
being black does not mean that white supremacists are not going to follow you. They're still going to hate you.
White racists will co-opt a black message if it's for their cause.
Exactly. And at this point, we need to be banding together across
the diaspora,
racial lines, religious lines, around all lines that are going to keep people who believe that their way is the only way and everybody else needs to die or be shut out or whatever, because that is what we were dealing with. We just talked about Nancy Pelosi being almost murdered in her home by domestic extremists, and those people are getting more and more fervent by the day. And you want to know why? Because they're listening to people like Kanye, listening to people like Trump
and Candace Owens,
like,
and
those
shit.
are the people who are pushing these terrible agendas. So I don't care if it was just because he said something about Jewish people that he is now canceled. He should not be saying any of these things about anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't want anybody who is saying nasty, disgusting things about any group of people who are literally minding their business to have a platform. I just don't, because it's unnecessary. We already see where those roads can lead.
Well, he's been losing his platform.
Well, he's no longer a billionaire.
He's no longer a billionaire.
All these places
Adidas has dropped him.
dropped
his
him.
agency dropped him. His lawyers have dropped him. His bank has dropped him. Like,
Donda's Academy is closed.
But
I will say,
athletes are leaving Donda Sports, which I didn't even know was
one
a thing.
thing that I will say that these brands are so performative about. All these companies talking about, we're removing Yeezys from the stores. What fucking store was a Yeezy in?
I've never
seen a Yeezy in a store. So you're lying. You're just saying that to say it.
It's only after this that I just saw Yeezys being available to purchase.
And all these resellers, the GOAT or whatever, they're going to make so much money because people are still going to buy it.
You know?
Like, I'm not going... A lot of all this bullshit is performative. Every single time there's a Black Lives Matter thing, it's performative, and then there's anything, it's all performative. So I don't care what they're doing. He's still gonna have a lot of money. So he's not a billionaire. I wish if I could be like, oh, I'm not a billionaire today. Okay, I'm still a millionaire. That would be lovely.
Yes.
So he's not going to not have any money. He's still going to get sales from whatever bullshit. He's still going to have all those MAGA folks and stupid photaps who are following him. So he's not losing out on anything.
Yes.
And I just want black people to stop. Don't allow someone to give you the okie doke and try to push these separatist agendas between us and the Jewish community, us and the Asian community, us and the Latinx community. Like, all of us have been marginalized and oppressed, and all of us should be working together the way we were our grandparents in the 60s and the 70s. They were all working together. The civil rights movement was black people, it was Jewish people, it was Asian people, it was Latinx people. It was all these people working together to fight for the cause of everybody being able to have an equitable piece of the American pie. And that is what we need to be focusing on. This black man who has all the money in the world, all the power in the world, he does not care about you. And these think pieces are pointless. We do something better and more productive with your time.
I agree. I am wholeheartedly agree, to the point now where, like, I forget who I was telling you and Gladys at the same time, that, like, it's hard for me to listen to, you know, like, the whole, like, I miss the old Kanye. No, like, now I can't even listen to old Kanye because, A, I know where old Kanye grows up to be. Yeah. And B, like, I can't listen to old Kanye because, like, it just doesn't, it rings false now. Like, all of this, because they make us hate ourselves and love their wealth, whatever.
It's self-fulfilling prophecy.
Like, it feels like he wasn't listening to his own music, so why should I? Kanye didn't listen to his old early stuff, so why the fuck should I listen to his early
You have a point.
stuff?
You have a point.
Here we go.
All right. Well, that's all that's made me angry this week.
Yeah, that was the same thing that made me angry. Like, not Love Is Blind, but the whole Kanye situation. Oh shit!
All right. Hold on. What happened?
Is your phone dead?
No.
All right.
Live again. We are back from outer space.
Oh, look at this. There's a bunch of referees. Shout out to Gladys and C, who are a bunch of referees at what I assume is a Halloween party. See?
Oh, they look so cute.
They do look so cute. They look so cute. I'm not seeing a thing for our show. Are you sure we're live?
It said we were.
Technical difficulties for the live version of the podcast. What I'm gonna do though is just talk a little bit. I'm just gonna have like a quick conversation, and just yeah, it's fine. So that is everything that's been griping us. Obviously, we're not the negative Nellies that we are made out to be. We do like to bring joy, laughter, and mirth into the air, which is why we also have a segment that we like to talk about called The Things That Made Us Happy This Week. And the drop for that is a little ditty that we found from Cop Rock called The Baby Merchant.
I'm the baby merchant. Cops are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
Oh my God. So what I'm gonna we're live again?
We are live again.
It's good to be live. It's good to be live. I'm gonna assume that this died, let's say, a minute ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna assume and call it that. And we are going to start with the things that made us happy, which was homecoming.
Homecoming.
Coming home. Howard University. We had a really good time.
We had a time last night.
Shout out to Nas and Dan who went out with us.
Nas, Danny, Keith, Gladys.
C wasn't
there, but she was there in spirit.
She was there in spirit. We drank with her. You know who else was there in spirit? Mao was there in spirit
we missed
too.
you.
We missed you. I don't know.
Not next year. I think that we should do like every 2 years.
I think
that's
every
a good
2
amount.
years is fine.
Yeah, because like homecoming is literally like Christmas.
Yes.
You spend so much money.
Yes.
Hotel, Airbnb, food, alcohol,
Ubers.
Ugh, it's like
Congestion
club,
based on Ubers.
club,
Yeah.
another club,
Yeah.
another club, flight, party.
Which,
like,
by the way, it felt like being back home because I remember being like, the drinks are so expensive
and terrible.
and so terrible and small and not enough.
Citizen M.
Oh, so that should be the gripe. The gripe right there is Citizen M. Hey, Citizen M, get actual bartenders. Get actual bartenders.
And can
People
you
who
have
tend the
normal
bar.
bathrooms, like a normal size? I don't want to look at myself like it's too much.
And the toilet
It's tiny.
situation is ridiculous. I felt like I was in a tiny home.
Yes, because everything's just on top of each other.
Yeah, like there was no like space to do anything, and like I get it, like y'all took after New York sort of apartment bullshit where
No.
like I know that it was like actually like Japanese hotels or something.
I feel like it's like the Japanese hotels where it's like, oh yes, come sleep here in this little pod. No, you cannot be charging people, and you charge you to clock out late. I had like that is ridiculous. You don't have a full continental breakfast included in the hotel.
Yeah,
I
all
can't
y'all
even
had
just
was
check
what,
out a little
cereals?
out. They had like some muffins and stuff like that, but I can't even check out an hour or two later without paying money.
Yeah,
That's
bullshit.
ridiculous.
That was bullshit. So sorry, citizen. But this is the section that makes us happy.
It is. But you want to know what made me happy?
Mm-hmm.
Homecoming. Seeing everybody.
Seeing all my
It
friends.
was so
I got
beautiful.
to meet Odie's friends, which was fun.
Yeah, like we just finally got
It was
to
very
see.
nice. You know what? To Odie's friends, it was really nice meeting you. It was really, thank you so much treating me with care and kindness with your conversations and the topic of conversations. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I really felt good. I felt not ambushed at all.
Ditto.
I totally didn't feel like I was getting jumped into a gang. Like that's not at all how I felt. I felt welcomed and
That
warmed.
should also. I honestly, if I could, that would be a part of mine.
That yeah.
But it was a great
I'm gonna
time.
tell you something off mic, but
It was a beautiful time.
it was a fun time.
We had lovely days. We had
Shout out to Mari and James and
Yes!
Marissa and Tiffany and who else?
it was. I mean, everybody.
I can name so many different people.
I'm just so, like the thing is,
Well, I can name like the 7 people that I knew, and you can name like the 32 that you knew.
I was a social butterfly.
You were a social butterfly. I told
Well,
you, like freshman year, I was in a relationship, so therefore I didn't go out that much.
Well,
And half of my friend group didn't graduate, so then
Really?
yeah, Felicia, Tim.
You don't gotta say their names.
Oh, sorry. P and T and
I think that for me is because
Jay,
one, like I'm a, you know
who's
that
also T.
I'm a joiner.
yes.
So like freshman year when we had that org fair, I literally signed up for all of the orgs I thought that would be fun, that I was going to enjoy. And so I would go to them sometimes. I was in HUFO, even though I was in a film major, but I thought that would be fun.
How were you in HUFO? I was in HUFO.
I'm sure we met each other at one meeting. We might have went to some sort of Christmas party where there was food.
I wasn't at the Christmas party. I went to like 2 meetings. They asked me to like
Pay,
grip on.
and you said no.
No, I was okay with paying. They asked me to grip on something, and I was just like, "Excuse me, like you want me to like
Work?
No,
Yeah.
I thought we were just gonna watch movies.
No, it's not high school.
Yeah, I thought this was the fucking Breakfast Club for film. I thought we were gonna watch Friday and Poetic Justice.
Like I was in NCNW, I was in HUABJ, I was in the what were you gonna say? What stupid thing were you gonna say?
No, on the yard, I also saw one of my friends' ex, and I was just like,
yeah.
he still looks like Suge Knight.
I saw.
Did you see that guy? Did I point him out?
I think I know who you're talking.
Yeah, that guy. That guy.
Right,
Yeah.
you know what? I was thinking so hard about him because I remember
think he was
always
also-
seeing them all the time.
Yeah,
Freshman,
yeah.
sophomore year.
Yeah. You know who you are, nigga.
But also, I thought that I saw a friend. So one of my friends well, yeah, I would say they were dating briefly. They weren't. It wasn't anything serious, but like,
I'm glad I didn't run into my ex. I'll just say that right now.
they were dating briefly, like wasn't serious, whatever. And then, unfortunately, his ex-partner has been going. She's been having some issues. I feel very bad for them because I actually liked her. She's a nice girl. But I thought I saw her, and it was going to be really weird because now that there's so much has happened that I don't want to see her because I don't want to I'm not going to
You
try
know
to.
too much. You know too much.
I know too much, and I'm never going to be someone who I'm not going to try to act shady to someone who's not done something to me. But if I know that you've done something shady to someone I'm like one of my best friends, it's going to be difficult for me to pretend to like care about you as a friend or a person. Like that's I can't forget that. So
Same here. So why Thanksgiving's gonna be weird.
But I thought I saw her, and thank God I didn't. It was a different person. So I just was like, there's a lot of that always going to be on campus. And there was, of course, the like, oh, you're married, but you're reaching out to me, or you're in a relationship, but you're reaching out to me. Like, how about, no. Let's not do that.
No.
Unless you're talking about a friendly hang, like I'm your friend, you want to say hi to me, whatever. Don't do that, because I'm not interested in ever being someone's side piece, mistress, any of those things.
Guma.
Like, I don't want to be any of that, and also no one's about to run up on me on the street because they think that or find me on social media.
It would be funny if someone actually ran up on you.
No.
Not to hurt you, but just like yeah.
And I would look at them
and I would look at that and I would laugh my ass off.
I'd be like, man,
I hope I would never be anywhere near there.
That's not my fault.
Because I will be giggling my ass off.
Listen, you guys, all of y'all, men, women, and thems, please work on your own things. Do not incorporate other people into those things, because nobody else wants to be a part of your dysfunction. Mm-hmm. And that's generally what it is when you try to be like, hey, big head. It's dysfunction. It is.
Yeah.
But no, we had a great time. That I will say, I'm very sad that Dandy's, my favorite carry out on Florida and V,
and Tori's
closed.
Tori's Diner.
Tori's Diner's closed. Yes. But also remember that DC9, the club.
Oh, DC9.
I think they closed a few years ago.
Oh, I wonder if the Black Cat's still there.
I feel like it might be, but I might have heard something about that. I just feel like so many places that we used to go to and frequent a lot are gone. The gentrification, the wharf has been decimated.
Pandemic also didn't
help. It's just like the campus looks so different. And allegedly, the tailgate will not... Now, they've been saying this for years, so it could be just urban legend. But allegedly, the tailgate won't be at the McDonald's parking lot anymore after this year. But
well, they moved the McDonald's.
The McDonald's is still there.
No, the McDonald's was like... It's in a different place. It's on the other side of the street now.
What are you talking about?
It was never on that side of the street. It was always in that parking lot.
The McDonald's everything is the same for that.
No, it's not. They moved the McDonald's to the other side of the street.
How could they have moved the McDonald's?
They moved the McDonald's.
How?
That's not
how.
Howard University.
How could they have moved the McDonald's?
This is like cereal. Did they move the McDonald's or not?
How could they move? I'm looking it up.
If you were there when Five Guys was there freshman year, because you remember Five Guys, right?
Yeah.
The McDonald's used to be on the left side of that street that would go to the tower. Not the towers. What was it called?
No, it's the towers.
Oh, yeah. Go to the towers. It used to be on the left side. Now it's on the right.
My friend, what are you talking about?
Yeah, they moved it.
How can you move a whole building? It's always been
brick
right
by
here.
Brick. It has never always been.
It has.
They moved it.
Where could you have moved it? It's been here always. How are they gonna move this big ass building? Where you think it was before? Please, tell me.
Wait, we crossed the street. Where is the street?
Here is where we walk down. This is where first of all, the Black Israelites had taken over.
Those Black Israelites.
We thought it was a bunch of Qs. Because
they were wearing
purple and gold.
They were wearing
and then we got closer and closer, and someone was talking about Jesus coming. And we said, that's definitely not them. That is definitely not them. Yeah. But this here is always... Stop it! I told you! To stop doing that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. No more. Enough already. Enough. It's too much shenanigans. This is not funny.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
No, we're not going to get
Do you have no honor?
Oh, I can't bark?
No.
That was a DMX bark.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
Stop it.
It was a DMX
You can only bark when we're not talking about D9 situations. If it's not a D9 situation, go bark right ahead. If any time we mention D9, you are not allowed to bark. Okay?
I was thinking
no
about DMX.
barking,
I
no
was thinking about the
shimmy.
Rough Riders.
Don't throw up any hooks. Don't be ice cold. Just no duck walking. No nothing. Just keep yourself together until we get off camera and then you can do anything you want to do.
Everybody take a shot. The live paused again, but it's okay. We're gonna finish this out.
I think
fine.
because probably my phone died.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
All right, so this is the Georgia Avenue. This is the McDonald's. It's the only place it's ever been.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
We had a great time at homecoming.
We had a great time at homecoming.
Shout out to Carol Dudley. Shout out to Lawrence Kagwa. Shout out to the whole entire School of Communications
Shout out to Eat
squad.
the Beer.
Say that again?
Eat the Beer.
Yes, shout out to Sankofa. Shout out to Professor Holly Selassie.
Shout out to Ho Chi.
Shout out to Ho Chi. Okay. Shout out to the 70 and the 72 and the 73 that would
And the
sometimes come.
Reservoir.
What did you say?
The Reservoir.
Oh, the Reservoir. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Reservoir. Shout out to W Street Northwest. Shout out to Florida Avenue.
Shout out to U Street. Shout out to Pure. I don't even know if Pure is still there.
I missed you so much.
No. And shout out to every homecoming Howard University alumni who went to homecoming.
Yes. Thank you all for making this an amazing weekend.
Yes.
My liver is still recovering.
Yes,
We
it
are
is.
barely back to our sleep patterns.
Barely.
Barely.
I had insomnia the other day.
I mean, it's been difficult to be so much energy.
yeah, so much.
So much energy.
With that being said,
We love you all.
we love you all, and we will be back for another installment of this
next week.
So take care, take it easy, and
See you later.
see you later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorice is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.